Welcome to the New Normal Podcast. I want to tell everybody thank y'all for tuning in. Today we got a great topic for y'all. But if y'all just came in the door, make sure y'all like the video, share the video, tell everybody about the New Normal Podcast. We're on all social media platforms. Today we will be getting into the LA riots, ICE raids, or whatever you want to call it. We're going to be talking about a young man trying to give up on his life and how men are adapting to the new economy or in the new dating market and stuff like that. We're gonna talk about shrinkflation, how they're still charging you for the same thing, but you're getting less of it, like more air in your bag of potato chips. Yeah. How you doing today?
Doing great. It's Monday. When I tell you the way this month been going by, it's the 9th.
Yeah, it's going by fast.
It was just Memorial Day.
It's flying by.
It's the 9th, dog. Yeah. Tomorrow the 10th.
I don't know, my video ain't coming up.
It's going. Yeah, it's going.
There you go.
Okay. Yeah, like I said, I don't think people understand the essence and the power of time. I think time has been sped up to as crazy as that sound.
I think when you say sped up, like somebody messed with the time machine, or is it because you're more conscious of it? Because I think that's part of the time we're more conscious of time because we getting older.
I think that may be it too, but the way the day just zooms by.
Yeah,
I think social media and entertainment has played a role in that too. I look up, I'd have been to spend an hour scrolling, just going through info. I just been to spend an hour.
Yeah,
and I post them on my story. Then I posted that 2 hours ago.
It's because you're looking at the butt nigga holes on Instagram, right?
Nah.
That's what I be doing.
I be like I be on YouTube. I be going through stuff. You be seeing the type of stuff I be posting. Yeah. I be on all type of algorithms, but
I be on Instagram.
You can't help but to see the chicks though.
Hey, I be on Instagram like this ain't nothing but the devil. I said I was gonna do something else, and I find myself strolling like, damn, she bad. Then I look again, like, she better than her. And I look again, she better. I said, let me get up off of here, because you be seeing the baddest chick you ever seen.
Man, I think that's intentional too. Like they want us drunk off lust, dog.
Yeah,
like because some of these chicks are pretty much naked, and there's children on these platforms. How you able to put this on here?
What about the breastfeeding content?
All that is sexual. Like
that is crazy that you exploit yourself and your child all in this moment to get likes, and then y'all had a nerve to where we can't share it. What kind of stuff is that?
I don't know, man.
That's weird. Like you got your whole breast out. You in Walmart showing you breastfeed your baby in the buggy or at restaurants and different stuff. Like I said, it's a lot of stuff that got us amped up or doped up on a lot of sex right now.
Doing it is one thing. Recording it is something totally different.
Yeah, it is.
Feeding your child, I had no problem with that. Get a blanket, cover yourself up. The fact that you feel the need to record this and put it on social media is that's the issue. Yeah. It's not the fact that you're breastfeeding your child, but we'll get into that. That's a whole nother rabbit hole. We got, like I said, we're gonna talk more serious today with the shrinkflation. You need to know where your dollars are being spent, the stuff you're consuming. There's a lot of stuff I don't even buy anymore. Like when I go grocery shopping, my list is very, very minimal. Like the fluff you ain't buying the fluff that'll just sit on the shelf for 2 weeks before you open it or whatever. You just throwing, back in the day, you just throw shit in the buggy.
Yeah. I think that, and I think a lot, like I said, pricing too. Like some stuff you just throw in there, this, a few cents, 100 bun, 50 cents. Yeah. I'm just using that as an example. Now when you're talking about like that type of stuff, it's like 100 bun, $3. Like I remember growing up 100 bun, you get 2 for $1. You can't do that now. Now it's 2 for $5. So like I say, it's just a lot of different stuff.
What she say, frugal?
Yeah, frugal.
Yeah, you got to be frugal. But we're gonna get into that later in the segment. We're gonna right now. What you need to be paying attention to is these ICE raids and riots that's going on in LA, because the media is not giving you the full scope and showing you the numbers of these Hispanic and immigrants or whatever you want to call them. You need to see the numbers that these people are coming out in and support and how they acting. You talk a couple 100,000.
We say support. You talking about Americans or the immigrants or both?
Both, really. So the immigrants. We don't. For Black Americans or Black people, I don't feel we don't really have no business involved. We got our own shit to take care of.
I agree.
But let's look at some of these videos and y'all can see this firsthand. But I think this is something that needs to definitely be on y'all watch list.
hours of standing off, this situation has now rapidly deteriorated. The LAPD moving in on horseback, firing rubber bullets at protesters, moving them on through the heart of LA.
You just shut the fuck up. You okay?
I'm good.
Are you okay?
Man, seeing that video and I, you know, I just watched a clip before we got started, and they were talking about just entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason they were talking about entertainment, just talking about how they just basically program us.
Yeah.
It's crazy the stuff that they put in movies. We're literally seeing right now before our eyes. Like, we will never see this much like dystopian riots in the street, taking over, bullets getting fired, immigration, car bombings, and people dying, and people pulled out on stretchers. Like it's to the point now. America is really looking like how when they were talking about the bombing in Gaza.
Mm-hmm.
I'm seeing videos of them stretching people out on stretchers in LA. It's looking the same way, and it's crazy that I never thought that I would see this type of the World War Z's and all. It's just, to me, it's mind boggling that our country is supposed to be, quote unquote, even though they got us in trick bag, one of the best countries, and we got all of these people acting like this.
All this chaos, and it's so many reasons, and it's just a lot of layers to unravel to see or to go through to get to the meat of the matter, which is corporate greed. You got a lot of gentrification going on, the job market. You got, there's a bunch of different things happening at one time, and I think they do that to keep you on a alert or on a scramble type. You don't never really get a chance to rest. You don't get a chance to get lax, because once you get lax, you can kind of figure shit out. Keep your work day like your school they used to look. Your lunch look like the prison food.
Yep.
The food after that, it's crazy how they tell you this treat yourself. This a treat for you, knowing it's bad for you. How can something be a treat that's bad for me?
The mind fuck.
Yeah, they fucked us over with that. How can a treat that's gonna cause me diabetes or whatever other illness is a treat?
I agree.
It's crazy, man.
I agree, but well, because I was about to say something, but I ain't gonna say that that's technically a treat. But that could be bad for you too, I guess. It could be good, bad. I don't know. I'm not gonna say.
We know what you mind. Hey, right here, a hornball, man.
I ain't finna say that one today.
How many videos we got for the ride? We got a lot of them. Though. How many?
We got two.
Them two.
That one, and then the video, the car one. You wanna go play that one?
The one I was throwing the rocks.
Yeah, they was throwing the rocks.
Let's look at that.
I'm gonna ask you this question. Now, us as Black people, Black Americans, me and you, we see immigrants come over here, and cause havoc like that for what they believe in.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you think us as Black people have? Because we hear people talk about the Black Wall Street, the cynical villages, flooded neighborhoods, and that's why Black people don't be able. Why don't you think that we haven't come together and caused a riot in America the same way these people have came over here and did that? They ain't scared of police. They throwing rocks. They getting anything they can put their hands on. They setting cars on fire. Like, these people serious about this.
Now, you had it with some of the George Floyd, Black Lives Matters. They was riots, but the cause wasn't. I would say the cause may have been flawed, because we out there and under the guise of Black Lives Matter or whatever, versus you taking you miseducating my children. We ain't got 100,000 out there for these schools that's miseducating, or we ain't got 100,000 out here for our own bullshit, the violence that go on in the community. Because, like I said, after a while, white supremacy can't be the reason and the justification why I keep doing bullshit after I know what you did to me.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
That's how I
So
feel.
we will come together, but it's not the cause it's not a word, the cause, in my opinion. So you will see us, Black Lives Matter protests.
See, the thing is,
know,
with those protests, because you see a lot of people talking about, well, they were just running in the stores and it was an
and
opportunity,
looting,
and stealing and stuff like that. And a lot of times those issues or those things overshadow what the cause is, why we riding, why we marching and doing these type of things. So I think even the narratives and the news spin can kind of taint what you're trying to do out there. And that's what's scary when you see this, to me, because now I do think I see a lot of people say this was the LA Riots is paid opposition. Like they got some people out there, they paying them to come and ride and loot, and that's the whole reason for the open borders, letting millions of people come over here. They knew that when Trump won, he's going to try to get people deported. Now you got these people over there, and then like I said, it made me think about like Antifa during COVID, and they took over Oregon and those blocks and the police station, and come to find out that was paid. So it's crazy that we got so many people that want to see America fall.
Yeah,
that they doing this type of stuff behind the scenes.
Yeah, I think it's more diabolical than what we see. Like you got paid antagonists that come out, even with the black you had people out there starting bullshit, and they would try to paint this narrative that it's the black people that's looting. But in certain other storms, you saw the white people in some of these states that got, when tornadoes and floods hits, they said, well, they're not looting, they're just getting them their essentials to survive. It's always narrative based. This is why media is so powerful and why we need our own black media to paint our own narratives. It's far too much or far too long we've given our story for people to, put us in this label, this category, this, and we don't fight against it. You see, when we get our label, he a deadbeat dad or he Pookie, and we just take it. And now we commercialize, and now it's all in the content, the Pookie and Ray Ray, the Keishas, all of this stuff. We let people, and we're gonna get into Tyler Perry Wednesday, of profiting off our trauma and shit, and we celebrated saying it is good. What's good about seeing a struggle every time it's black folks in the fucking movie? What's good about that?
I don't understand why so many people, especially us as black people, associate with struggle so much, oppression so much, especially as being so far removed from it. Now, don't get me wrong, because people are trying to twist my words. Now, I'm not saying there isn't like little systematic things here or there to try to trip you up, but for the end of the day, most black people now can live the lives that they want to. It may not be where you want, if you want to compare yourself to white people, but let's be real. A lot of people ain't going through that type of trauma like strong, and we got to get into it right now. We're gonna talk about it Wednesday, but ain't no way nobody that look that bad.
I ain't watched it yet. I may watch it a little bit so I can be, abreast of what's going on for the conversation. But
then it's 2 hours. Then it's 2 hours long, bro.
I have no interest in watching another Tyler Perry film. It's the same fucking thing.
Yeah,
the same shit. But with this,
which is the outcome gonna be?
What you mean
for the rise?
This just the tip of the iceberg.
So what you think will happen?
Because they're gonna have to call in reinforcements. The reinforcements is the National Guard.
Well, they said the National Guard already out there.
Okay, we gonna see in the next few days, because
the other
we're
about to say we're gonna talk about getting the Marines now.
They gonna have reinforcements. The immigrants, because what I don't like to play is the legality game. Like, you would say, okay, these are immigrants, but when you look at the history of this country or just the land mass, California and Mexico, this is where motherfuckers come from. Mexico was in the United States.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So how am I an immigrant when I was already in this land?
Well, that's where I would have to disagree.
Again, that's why I said under the gas, a legal citizen.
And I ain't talking about on some legal shit. I'm talking about just on some Debo shit. If I take your shit, it's mine.
No. I see that, but no. And if I come take my shit back, it's mine.
You gotta take it. But you see what they doing. You see, they might be saying they're gonna take it, but if they don't, they don't win. It's just a lost cause.
Because the bullets think that you don't have a right. Like if a person steal my car, right, and they say I ain't reported none stolen, I go get my shit. they caught and they've been riding around, let's say scot-free. They think they done got away, whatever. And I come and steal my shit back. They'll call the police on me, say I stole their car. And I say, no. And they'll have me in jail, say, well, why you didn't file a report? Why every time something happened to me, I got to call white folks to handle my business? When in some cases, it have been reports of crime, murders, all this type of stuff, and the police ain't come for 2-3 hours. Well, I'm already dead, or the damage is already too far gone to mitigate.
See, I don't think if that scenario, if you went, because they got all the documentation on your shit. I get what you're saying, but like I said, I think even with this, we talking about you come to take some land. It's been established so long at this point, and got some the United States military. But you're finna go up against the United States military. Come on, let's be real.
I'm not saying that's where we get to extreme, but let's go back to the police, right? Where you have men, women, and children that went through the justice system, got restraining orders. Hey, this person is a threat to me, and we see that woman unalive. We see them children unalive because the justice system dropped the ball because we put too much faith in these other systems.
Well, I agree.
So I'm saying I should have to always call and wait on you to handle my. Well, we can't do nothing about it. And a lot of times, them stolen cars, I'm just using this as an example. Stolen, they don't get recovered.
Oh, they don't.
They tell you go through your insurance. Ain't none of it. The police ain't even finna go try to look for your shit.
Right.
They gonna see if it's a GPS.
If your shit come up, it's just by happenstance. They just happen to bust into a chop shop.
Yeah, y'all ain't finna. Yeah. And you don't know what kind of belongings I may have left in my car. What kind of priceless items I had. I probably could have been moved. I got a photo album from 1987. I got medals or something I done worn from. I can't get that back.
Yeah.
So I gotta wait on you to handle my business versus I go do it where you should have called the police. Fuck y'all.
Look, I agree. Like I said, I think a lot of and you know what's funny when we talk about entertainment again. That kind of go back to like even Batman. Like they talk about the vigilante justice.
Yeah,
they be so against vigilante justice. They want the police to do it, and there's a right way to do stuff, and there's a right way to handle stuff. And it's like, man, we've been waiting on y'all to do y'all job for so long. Nothing ever gets solved. Like murder, they talk about most murders don't even get solved.
How I supposed to and you sending the cut in the bushes to see if I'm going 6 miles over the fucking speed limit, and it's missing children,
right?
That's missing crazy. Persons, about 100,000, and you sitting in the bushes trying to see if I'm gonna go 6 miles over the speed limit.
But I gotta keep the money going.
That's what I'm saying. That's what it's about. You trying to extort me legally. Yeah. Well, I'm about to give you a parking. Like you trying to give me a ticket.
Just talk about a jaywalking ticket. Just because I crossed the street.
Come on, man. So, like I said, I just don't believe in just putting your faith in other people to resolve your issues. But the outrage I also been seeing from Black people in regards to this is I can kind of see if they're in that community, because a lot of times you're gonna bond with those in your neighborhood, your community, and Cali is heavy Hispanic and Latino. So a Black person in they may get welcome more so from the Latino family or Latino community than their own kind.
Well, let me ask you this. When we was having the Black Lives Matter rallies and riots and stuff like that, how many Latinos did you see on those videos?
Not many. And that's where that's where it comes in there.
So that's why I say, like, I'm not big on picking up the flagpole and running it or putting it on my back for somebody else. But like I said, we got so much in our own stuff. Like we got water in Flint that ain't getting fixed. We got kids in Baltimore that's in the fucking dead zone. Kids can't read on the 3rd grade level, like in high school. Like, I don't know, did you see that video about that teacher talking about she in high school and her kids behind 6 years in reading?
That's crazy.
She says she's in high school, her children are behind 6 years on their reading level. We got too much to be worried about some illegals coming over here and y'all want to go fight for them. Fight for your children. Like I said, I grew up and being from the South, you probably heard this, they said sweep around your own doorstep. And a lot of people want to be concerned about what other people are doing because it makes it easier to be focused on somebody else's bullshit than your bullshit and what you got to fix in your community and in your household. We got too much stuff to be worried about some illegals coming over here. They want to come over here, let them come over here. And then even when you think about during the election season, you had Chicago, you had Mayor Brandon Johnson up there. They letting all the illegals come in and all the Black people weren't saying
sanctuary city.
Yeah, they weren't saying that at first, but now you're starting to see, hey, we're gonna have to raise the taxes on y'all $1 billion. What? Yeah, we gotta support the illegals. Now see how when y'all be kumbaya and y'all be thinking about this stuff, now you, the actual citizen, gotta deal with the consequences of saying you okay with illegals coming here, because everything has a price, and they gonna tax you, they gonna tax everybody.
And you go back to that. I seen a few posts floating around where people was like, well, we need them. They're gonna do the jobs and take on a lot of the responsibility that black people and other people may not want to. You see, a lot of them in the janitorial service, what they sanitate. They do the dirty work.
Farming and shit like that.
Yeah.
But we already know most of those jobs should be automated anyways.
And then when I see people advocate for it, they have this thing, and I say you always have a replacement.
Oh yeah.
In anything in life, whether it was a job position, whether you got promoted, you think your spot just stayed open? No, we got a replacement for you. You see what I'm saying? So it sounds good to say, well, we need these people to do these jobs, to where we see them banding together and putting their money together. Now they using that to do the outside investment. Oh, we gonna buy up these neighborhoods. We finna buy up these houses. I saw them videos going viral where they paying off a 30-year mortgage in 5 years because it's 8 people staying in the house, banding together and paying it off, and then they go do it again. Go do it again. So it sounds good that you say, well, they gonna do job, yeah, but they gonna use that little check and put it with these 8 other people little check to make the bigger move and educate themselves further. Because you think they just gonna come over here and do masonry, do construction, road work? Nah, they're gonna educate themselves and see really how to get ahead in this system.
And a lot of them probably do come over here to do that and start at that. But I see a lot of these guys, when they do, they start their own companies.
On lawn service, Mexican restaurants. You got your Mexican market right down here.
Yeah, a lot of these guys are coming over here actually doing what they need to do to get a better life. And it's crazy because over there in Mexico, I think it's pretty much like a dictatorship, ain't it?
Yeah, it's very corrupt.
Cartels, the government, like they even it seems like the cartel run the army, the military over there.
They done went to war with the military. The Sinaloa, when El Chapo, they went to war with the military.
You know how crazy? Do you know how much money you have to be to even think about doing something like that? Like you gotta be braided up to think you got the type of equipment to actually go against the military.
And guess where their money coming from?
Well,
here, America.
Oh yeah,
America.
But that's and like I said, I don't know if it's all a game, but Trump classified a lot of these drug cartels as terrorist organizations. So we'll see if it actually helps. But like I said, I know money. Yeah, I just think about like going to Iraq. Part of going to Iraq was to go to the poppy fields.
Yeah, you're right.
So we'll see. Like I said, I know a lot of this stuff is a revolving door. It's just a revolving door. Like even all the crime out there, I just don't see the end game of what's going to happen. I just think we're going to see them just stop.
So
because this is the thing. America could have ended that shit in one day.
How you say?
They got the power.
What you talking about? This right here?
They could have ended the ride in one day.
I'm saying, what would have been the solution, a conclusion?
What you mean? They just would have. Some people got their head bust, and other people would have went home.
No, I don't think it would have ended in one day. Because I'm gonna tell you why. They here in Miami, they here in Florida. Florida has a high Hispanic population. New York, LA, Arizona. So that's why I say this is just the beginning. If ICE is moving like this, they ain't just doing this in LA. I've seen the videos in Florida too.
I'm talking about particularly the LA riots right now.
Okay.
I think
they could have stopped.
They could have ended that in one day.
Okay, well, Arizona is how far away from LA. Nevada is how far away. These people are. I think we underestimate the unity that the Hispanic and Latino community have. I would be crazy to think all them folks in LA are from there and live there.
Okay, so you think right now they just really just show the full force, not levels of escalation, because it's ICE, then you got the National Guard, then you got the military. It's levels of progression. They came in full force.
You talking about the Marines?
Marines just come through that. You talking about the Marines?
I'm gonna tell you, it'll look. The optics ain't gonna be if they was to do what you saying.
Well, yeah,
they don't want that on TV because we still got treaties and certain agreements with Venezuela, Mexico, and some of them other Hispanic countries. So you can't have innocent because you got kids out here too now. You got kids out, you got women out here. You can't have this gun down, brains over here, guts over here because you shot. You can't have it on TV.
They will blur it out.
Nah.
You don't think so?
The independent media ain't gonna blow it out. Where we get our stuff from, it ain't MSNBC and all. I'm talking about the independent, the Jordan, I forgot the dude's name, but the independent.
But just like how, like I was just telling you about one of my videos, they just go to like Mark Zuckerberg got on Joe Rogan and said, yeah, the FBI came to me and told me to block out the Hunter Biden laptop store. They do the same thing.
You can't block out everybody. You got a bunch of independent media. I just seen full-fledged shootouts, brains getting blowed over and it's in the comments. The real video in the comments. I can't post it because they gonna flag me, but it's in the comments. So it may not be on your timeline just to scroll, but it's gonna be in the comments. It's gonna get seen, is my point.
Yeah, like I said, the thing is, it's not gonna be 100% not being seen, but we can suppress it enough. And that's the thing, suppressing it enough, it does wonders.
I don't think you can make it suppress. If it go to that length, it's too many cameras rolling, dog. Yeah, too many cameras, too many lives. You got 10,000 people going live at one time.
So how long you think this gonna go on?
By the next 6 months.
6 months? They gonna let this go on for 6 months?
Oh no. Again, this is just the starting point. You got Florida. This is gonna spread. That's my point.
Think we're gonna see these same rise in Florida?
If they get to acting like that, yeah.
I don't think we're gonna see. I think the reason we're not gonna see that because I think this was strategic by it being in California. I can see some California, they have some New York. These are both liberal cities. These are both sanctuary states. These are, both, very, like I said, liberal in manner, sexuality, immigration, transgender. This just a smorgasbord of bullshit in these states.
I don't think this gonna
Florida, the South.
This ain't gonna be over in no week, dog. This gonna go nationwide. It's gonna go nationwide. Like, what she say?
California is being taught a lesson. What lesson do you think is being taught? And if y'all want to call in to talk about the LA riots, y'all can start calling in to talk about the riots. The numbers at the bottom of the screen. And make sure y'all like the video. But what lesson is California being taught right now?
Now, I do think it's political and economic interest from this because you got the Olympic Games supposed to be coming. You look at all the pricing.
Year, ain't it?
28.
28. Okay.
Yeah. You got a bunch of different stuff going on in California. They trying to do smart cities. There's a lot of gentrification. They trying to clean house in that area because you look at this location. You see what I'm saying? Look how big the land mass is. So
because I think Gavin Newsom got upset with Trump when he told them people they could go clear. They was like, well, we gotta do some test for contamination before y'all can go clean out your houses. Yeah. And Trump said if they want to go clean it out, we'll put the wheelbarrows out there. I mean, the dumpsters out there. Let the people go clean their houses up. But he was saying that he kind of like hinted in one of the interviews, like basically, we don't want y'all ready to come back because we got they already got plans for what they want to do with y'all land. And it's like, how y'all gonna just take our shit? We paid for it, some of these houses paid for it, the land paid for it, but y'all just think y'all finna just come in here and just take our shit.
It's the American way, dog.
It is.
Take and claim as your own and dare you to come take it back.
It is. That's scary. Because I seen another video, and I don't know if this was in LA, it might have been up north somewhere, but they had bought all the houses in the neighborhood. All of them. This one black lady did not want to sell her house.
Yeah.
One little, it's not a bad looking house, but it's just old, small. They got all these big, huge houses in this neighborhood and just her one house because she did not want to sell.
We need more of that. Like, you ain't just finna buy me out and I got to get in this market and get something that I really can't afford because, you gave me this low number or you want it, you're going to pay. Right. You're going to pay to where I should be able to get some smooth and easy cash.
Yeah.
Not going through no bank, not going through none of that. I'm supposed to be able to go and get some a greater value cash easy. Or you furnish me some in another, I can see that.
Yeah.
See, but it gotta make sense.
They offer her a high number. She said she didn't want to sell, and she kind of was like they basically these companies come in thinking they can just railroad the little man and woman. That's
they doing that they did that in Florida too.
Yeah, that's basically how she was. And I think that when we see, I don't know, I just can't see myself seeing this going on 6 months, even if it was to spread to other places. I just don't see it.
Yeah,
it's just my mind. I don't think that the government would just let it go. Because, like I said, even though it's the economic and political ramifications that go on with this, I just can't see them letting it burn like this.
But again, that's contingent on ICE. If ICE keep coming in and snatching your mama off the job,
yeah,
snatching your kids out of there, separating. folks, these still humans.
Yeah.
So the reaction is going to be what it's going to be.
Yeah.
So if you still, running like that in, Florida or wherever, the response is not just going to be, well, I'm going to let them do it. Cause it's going to be what it is.
Well, we'll see. Y'all put in the comment section what y'all think. How long y'all think these raids gonna continue? Y'all make sure y'all like the video, subscribe to the channel. Like I said, if y'all want to call in and talk about these raids, y'all can call in right now. Let's move to the next thing.
What, shrinkflation?
We go shrinkflation.
Shrinkflation. Where are your dollars being spent and how?
Which one video to play first?
Either one. They're kind of similar.
Inflation is here. Instead of raising prices, companies are just going to give you less for the same price. Look at these Dawn soaps. Replacing a piece of gum with a holder area that nobody asked for. I mean, this just has me speechless. And it's not just one or two brands. It's pretty much every major brand. So don't be deceived by the marketing. You're paying more and getting less than ever before.
This was a very well done post on Reddit. $1.06, no longer available. This one, the replacement, $2.37. Both are 12 ounces. Shrinkflation. House Labs Slush went from 11 grams down to 5 grams, and they did reduce it from $38 to $32, but it's less than half the size it was before. This is a change that actually just went into effect very recently, but was to the employees of Starbucks in April about a new gouging collar for white chocolate mocha sauce. The new collar will dispense 15% less sauce per pump than the current collar, and the change was tested with customers. Did not result in any noticeable difference in taste. So they're trying to see, can we sneak this in? Will they notice? Another thing to sneak in, smaller sandwich sizes. Same price. It's about a 25% decrease, they said. These are the SodaStream canisters, and it went from 425 grams on this one to 400 grams on this one, but still claims to make about 60 liters worth of soda. Gush Mascara, which is a milk product, which is owned by Obagi Skincare, 0.34 ounces to 0.27 fluid ounces. This was actually put up as a very rare announcement, and it was only because it affected WIC. Darigold reduced the half-gallon milk carton from 64 ounces to 59 ounces. WIC does not allow the new 59-ounce package size. So because they don't sell the old product, you can't buy this milk if you use WIC. For those who don't know what WIC is, it's women, infants, and children to help them get food to make sure.
Shrinkflation, and I've been seeing these, and I wanted to talk about this because we don't challenge and question things enough. We are always just accepting some shit.
What
You used to charge me $2 for this. Now you charging me $8.
How do you get around that?
Don't buy that shit. Change your wants. Because if you go in the grocery store, if I say I want some cookies, right? It's 100 brands to pick from. Hundreds. Right. Juices, hundreds. If you sticking out as a brand or whatever, and I see you're taking advantage of the economy, we're gonna bankrupt your ass. Whatever you sell, whatever you associated to, don't buy it. We're slave to our wants and habits too fucking much. Don't buy that shit no more.
But the thing is, when the one thing go up, all of it go up
to a degree.
So why would I bankrupt one company if the tissue that went up, the toothpaste that went up? I'm not buy tissue toothpaste.
I'm not against stuff going up. Like my toothpaste is the Colgate whitening it's $1.96. All right. It'll be different if it go from $1.96 to $7.86.
Yeah, that'd be extreme.
You see what I'm saying? Oh, because it used to be $1.29.
Yeah. You
went up 70 cents. Okay, it's within reason. When you go to doubling and tripling, can you just go to McDonald's and get a full? You get 3 meals for $14. You got 3 meals, 3 drinks, combos. I barely could get one. I went to Zaxby's yesterday, right? My friend, I said, you know what? I want some Zaxby's. I remember when I first got introduced to Zaxby's, and I went to college in 2002. Yeah, telling my age at this point, but I got a wings and things. It used to be $7.55. If I used to get a drink, it'll be like $8.80 because I don't think it came to drink at that point. I spent $16.16 yesterday for the same meal.
So it doubled.
More than double.
Yeah.
$7.55
to 16.
to 16.
Yeah.
So I understand the things of, because I have to ask, because people, you look at gas, you don't have a logic. Why is gas this price and when it was this price? What changed in how this gas get over here now? Why you can't, you ain't got no explanation for me outside of it's just what it is.
I just think a lot of this should just be greed.
It's greed. That's why they don't have a logic. That's my point.
Yeah, it's just a lot of this be greed, and they can't explain it. And then they always talk about inflation. They always talk about like now we get the tariff argument, we get the shipping argument, we get the people don't want to work argument. We get a lot of different excuses to why they make it go. Like you got to think about it. Somebody don't want to come to work. They say, "Well, we're short staffed, but we're gonna make the price go, or we'll lower." Like what they doing now with the shrinkflation is crazy because most people ain't gonna notice them going small on products.
And that's where, because it's different if it just go up. Not only are you taking the price up, you're giving me less.
Right. That's what's scary, and that's what's kind of like a slap in the face almost. Especially just think about if you've been a loyal customer for somebody for so long, because this person, I bulk buy it, or it comes in this big bottle or something and it's cheaper, but now you're looking down the aisle, it's the same price and it's small as like the other things. Now I'm gonna feel like, damn, I was a loyal brand, loyal customer. Now you got to go up, because they remind me of like the Arizona iced tea.
Yeah.
You say you're not raising the prices on Arizona, it's still the same price, 99 cents.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying, is greed.
That go back to our famous question. How much money do you need?
How much money do you need? If you're looking even from living arrangements where they say you can't, there's no job where let's say at the minimum wage is, you can't afford to live anywhere with that. And if it's inflation, you ain't inflating these salaries.
You're not. But that's the whole point of inflation. That's the whole point of driving the prices up. I think, like I said, it's a revolving door, and they want people to be poor. And I think people are starting to understand a lot of shit really is about classism.
Now, can I play devil's advocate? I actually kind of like the idea of inflation, because we must admit and acknowledge America consumes way too much bullshit.
That's true.
And I think it may be, again, I'm playing devil's advocate here, it may be a solution to curb the consumption in this land. We consume way too much. If you look at trash, you go to some of that shit bit off one time, 3 bites out of it in the trash, took 2 chips out the bag in the trash. We overconsume too fucking much.
Yeah, but you think it'll curb the consumption, the way people consume things, or you think it'll stop?
Indirect, because it'll get to the point where I can't afford to buy that bullshit. You see it right now. I'm dealing with, like, I know the market is crazy just based upon my sales and stuff like that. So I gotta, you gotta adapt to the markets, but I know people's pockets are being squeezed.
See, my question always with that, when is not necessarily on how much money do you need, but when is enough, and when have you squeezed that lemon all the way out to where you can't get? You done went from $2 to $10 now. Like, I can't give you I have no more money to give you. You've gotten all you got out of me. How does the company survive then? Because if you keep going up on the price, giving me less, and I can't buy it now, you got to think about that. Then you got automation coming in. A lot of people ain't gonna have jobs to even afford that, because they're gonna be out of work.
Yeah, and I think like now, I think it's getting to the point of where the cup almost filled with these corporations. Yeah, because you look at Stellantis, they just did their electric, because America tries to bully you into getting on a program, whether it's the jab, where you can't work here if you don't get it, but now it come out, you really fucking people over with it.
Right.
And now it's no longer required in some cases. Or you look at these cars where they say, well, by 2030, we want everybody electric. They saw them folks not going out there and buying that shit out of fear like they thought they would. Now they just said, we're going to discontinue. So what you going to do with all them cars that cost 19 million or 100 some million to make. It's like it never affected their pockets. So what they'll do to curve it, all right, we finna lay off 7,000 folks.
Yeah.
We gonna cut costs, but they think they can bully you into these agendas that they have for you, where everybody going electric, but they see people ain't buying it. Them Tesla trucks, ain't nobody buying them hoes. And now ain't no more conversation around it now. But you were just saying y'all about to put this in legislation that it's mandatory that we get electric. But you see people, if don't nobody buy it, then what? Your legislation don't mean shit because it ain't number words.
Right. Well, I think it was like a executive order by Biden, but I think Trump overturned it.
Yeah, like
oh yeah, the 2030 mandate that they were trying to pass, and I think a lot of companies are going for, but I just think about like a couple of summers ago, the infrastructure is not even built for that right now. Like they was having like crazy power outages in California because they were talking about all the Teslas being hooked up to the grid. They don't even have the power the power structure for that right now.
You know how much radiation that would be if everybody had an electric fucking car with batteries in it charging?
And they always talk about carbon dioxide or whatever, the CO2 levels rising.
Yeah.
That'll raise that too.
Because you got Wi-Fi in the car now. You got all these frequencies. That's why a lot of people are acting. These frequencies that we dealing with, this 6G, 5G, all that shit, on top of electric battery weight, man, that shit gonna have an effect on you and your mind. You ain't just finna be walking around all that, them waves and frequencies, and you think you finna just be normal.
Well, like I said, they do that to throw you off.
Yeah.
Same instance as like giving the kids tablets. Like I say, they don't even give the people that make tablets don't get a children tablet, and that should speak volumes to what's going on. With this shrinkflation, I think it's gonna get worse. I think we're gonna start seeing shit like where the travel size is gonna become the regular size.
We need to band together. And McDonald's, you're the first to go. Ain't nobody buying McDonald's.
The first to go
because. Not even just with the shrinkflation where you're getting less and this the greed. You have a lot of documentation that shows your food causes a lot of cancers.
Yeah.
So your food is not healthy. It's not food.
So are we banning them because of the cancer? Or are we banning them because of the money issue?
All of it.
Oh, okay.
I'm using McDonald's because they're the most notable fast food chain. All of them need to go because it's not food.
Yeah.
It's not food. They done did the test and let it sat up 2 months and come back to it, and it didn't decompose. You see what I'm saying? So starting with McDonald's and go down the chain. You finna go out of business. You finna go out of business. You going out. Which one we boycotting it? Ain't nobody going there. Oh yeah, no, don't go to Wendy's for the next 9 months.
See, these plans sound good in theory.
Yeah,
but you gotta have so many people to actually make this happen.
Absolutely. That's our fault. We too goddamn individualistic and think what we do don't affect the next person.
Right.
If I bring a bastard in this without the right resources, without the right thing, and he get out 12 years later robbing your grandma, doing something to your little girl because I ain't had the time to raise them right, or the mama ain't had time to raise, that's our fault. Because and that's the number one thing when I see with these conversations. I don't never see no conversation just 100% centered around the fucking children. It's always about your fucking feelings, how you feel about it. Y'all don't never put these children at the forefront of these conversations.
Never. And they're not going to, because children are used as pawns, or they're used as political pieces, or they're used as some type of sex object. And it's crazy to think of that these children are used in this manner, especially all the stats out there, all the movies, all the stories, horror stories, all of the podcast channels, like YouTube channels like South White Underbelly. You hear all these people with these, horrible upbringings. It's scary.
And people really think, that's why I say y'all told people a lot of people are very privileged, and it's no fault to them, but you can't tell me a little boy, a little girl that grew up in these harsh environments supposed to pull themselves up by their bootstraps and just go out in the world and act like that shit didn't happen to them.
Right. I agree.
That's fucking ignorant to me, dog. When I see people, everybody got a story, this little boy been getting touched since he was 5 years old. beat on, locked in the closet, malnourished.
Right.
He's supposed to turn 19 and be like, I mean, I went through it, but what are you talking about?
Right. But a lot of that's seen as a badge of honor in our community too, though.
Yeah,
They having to go through the struggle, and we all would be like, oh, they went through the struggle. That's why they're a celebrity. Or it pushed them to be this and that. Oh, excuse me. They pushed them to be this and that. So that's why a lot of people, you know, or like we think about like struggle love. A lot of black people believe in struggle love. I don't believe in struggling with nobody to say I love them.
Struggling is because it can be subjective. Struggle is one thing. I'm talking about direct, blunt trauma. That's something totally different.
I agree.
It's totally different dynamic that you got to overcome. And people think you could just go to therapy.
Do people overcome them? Or do they just cope with it?
It depends on what it is and when it happened. And the spirit of that individual as a whole, where they can just where people make blanket statements where when I say you, whoever in that group can just go to therapy and fix it. Nah, you can't undo 9 years of being touched.
Yeah.
Being you know, disregarded. You can't do that, especially in them critical years from 2 to 11.
Yeah, you
can't just disregard that. But it's a badge, like coming from the trenches, the project. We all got that story. I seen some of that, but trauma is something totally different, dog. You see what these children doing now? These children are being catapulted into adulthood.
Yeah.
Via their parents, because their parents didn't get to buy the motherfucking Lanvins and the Louis shoes in high school. Because the parents couldn't drive the Rolls Royces and shit to prom.
That's crazy. Like I said, we talk about shrinkflation, but they got money to do proms.
Yeah, like you got money to do the bullshit because it's gonna make me like a good parent. Yeah, he spent. Yeah, PJ want these $1,900 shoes. I guess I get them. What?
And that's why, and I'm gonna say this again. Prom season is a prime example of niggas actually either doing better than what they put on, or they're putting on a show and they putting a lot of that shit on credit to be back behind the 8-ball. It's one or the other, because y'all can't be out here doing all this stuff. They're buying these cars, tuxedos, $1,000 dresses, hotel rooms, limousines. Like if y'all putting together whole photo shoots and DJs, y'all are doing a lot of stuff. So thinking about shrinkflation, do it affect those type of people?
I seen some parents, more so mothers, talking about the butt. She said, I spent $5,000 on prom. 5 bands. What?
That's crazy.
$5,000.
That's crazy.
But again, I can't tell people how to spend their money. But these are, like I said, this is just show where our priorities are, and shrinkflation and other things won't get addressed because they don't give a damn about shit that don't. If it don't make them look good, I don't give a fuck about it.
I agree. I think most people, especially with us black people, we got to look cool. The issue is being cool. We want to look cool. Got to dress. Got to have a swag. You know, the charisma. Everything got to be A1. So, like I said, it just depends. You see that?
What is that? Yeah, I can't see.
He said shrinkflation is part of my to make people skinnier. I think that's supposed to make America healthy again.
That sounds good, but no. That's why I agree with that. We overconsume, so it'll curve, but it's still bullshit. So even let's say,
well, hold on. Let's say this.
Okay.
So if they made it smaller, they take the prices down too. I'm asking.
But
so that means it ain't really so much.
But it's looking like this. Let's say I don't give a fuck about the price. I know I used to get 14 chips. Now I only get 9. I'm gonna buy 2 bags.
You think people gonna buy 2 bags?
I'm gonna buy 2 bags then.
Yeah.
Because I got such a need and desire for it. I want that rush.
And you're accustomed to it too.
Yeah, I'll just buy 2 bags. I'll buy 3 bags now. You see what I'm saying? So
you think you're gonna make the money go up even more too, though?
Yeah. When you want some, dog.
Yeah.
And I looked at myself and my old spending habits. I ain't give a fuck what it costs. I want it. I'm gonna buy it.
Yeah.
But It's like, and this is the crazy conversation. Motherfuckers spend whatever on they wants when it comes to like the needs. Nigga
Right.
wheeling, dealing,
Right.
nickel and diming, getting the, you know, doing all that bullshit. But
it's because of the feel.
yeah, it don't. If it make you feel, you'll spend whatever. If it bring you that esteem, that confidence, all I see is design. Like I said, now I usually see this now. A lot of men, I see it now, but the women with this, like I said, and I said this before, this decadent lust and drive to get this designer and luxurious life.
Yeah.
I can't. I don't know what it's crazy. Like I'm talking about doing any and everything. What 10% on OnlyFans from what age? Under 18?
Oh, 18 to 24.
18 to 24? Like
That's
I do
sad.
whatever to get that money so I can buy that bag to make me look like a bad bitch.
Yeah.
I do whatever to get the Hellcat, the scat pack, so I can put it on the gram and get my shit took. Or on a live for somebody trying to take it.
Take it, right.
I'm gonna do all this, risk my freedom to get some shit that a nigga would kill me to have. Ain't that crazy?
That's crazy shit. But you know, I always say this: we shouldn't live in a world of should. There's a lot of things that you should be able to go buy your car and not have to worry about nobody stealing your shit. That ain't reality.
Yeah.
You should be able to walk down, you know, the street with your ass out and not get raped. You should be able to do that. But we don't live in the place of should. We live in what is reality. And you got to keep your head on the swivel, and you be smart enough to not put yourself in these situations. And like I say, even when I'm watching that Tyler Perry shit, it's like, bro, you go put yourself in these situations, having a kid end up sickly, you gotta take care of this kid, fucked up job. Like it's so much that went on in that damn movie, and that's
definitely gonna be a good one for Wednesday.
Yeah,
like I said, all of this is it impacting, and you got all these job laws. You telling me all this economy, all these people dealing with this. Yeah, you just hunky dory, all on the. Come on, man.
Yeah,
but you gonna get the last video?
Yeah, we go to the last video.
This is gonna be to the men. A lot of men are dealing with mental, and this is men's. This is a great video. It's Father's Day week. It's Father's Day this coming Sunday, and it's June is Men's Mental Health Month.
Even they had to put in this bullshit money, damn
Pride.
Yeah. You ready?
Yeah, we can burn this video.
There was a report that came out in the news recently showing that 7.2 million working age men in America are not in the workforce and not looking for work. This contrasts with the time back in 1953 when 98% of men were in the workforce or actively looking for work. And the article and commentary around it largely point to a number of reasons for this. The lowering wages relative to living costs and the relative inability for many men to have an average middle-class life, the public policy in place that incentivizes men to not work, and the increasing number of stay-at-home dads while the wife brings in the main income. And all of these are contributing reasons. But the plurality of comments addressing why this is happening in our culture today speaks to my own experience, is that men are largely discouraged in our society today. They're not appreciated, they're not respected, they're not valued, and quite the opposite, very frequently, overtly, men are shamed, are disrespected, are directly unappreciated.
What you think about that, Sid? You think that's true?
It's about being disrespected and not undervalued and not appreciated.
Yeah.
No.
You think men are valued and appreciated in the capacity they should?
I think I got like a neutral stance on it. Like I don't think they is, but I don't think they aren't either. And the reason that I say my stance on that is because I feel like men have always kind of been a tool, for the lack of better words. And not in a tool in the sense that's a bad thing, but men have always, went to work, built roles, they have always done something. They always decided and thought of contributing back to society. And that was kind of what made you a man. Not necessarily like, oh, I'm doing it for the bitches, or the woman that come home, she don't respect it. I've been out here 14 hours trying to provide for my family. Like a lot of men pride themselves on doing that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? That was just being a man. That's what I'm supposed to do. And now I think we're getting to the point where we've had so many people actually try to redefine what men are.
Yeah.
So now we get to the point where men they don't want to do anything. They want to sit at home, play video games. None of that contributes.
They're not motivated.
Yeah, they're not motivated. None of that contributes to feeling like you're an intricate part of society. You're actually giving back to something. But like I said, you had a lot of people back in the day going to war. Like, it's a lot of men just ran off the war. Me and you today, we be like, we done kind of seen the bullshit y'all been doing. I don't think I want to go and fight for America like that. We see, like I said, people in the streets riding, having Palestine flags and stuff like that. It's like, this is crazy. But 60 years ago, men were ready to, hey, this is a badge of honor. I'm going to be used. I'm going to be a tool. I'm going to fight for my country. Like, this is just things men did. And like I said, I don't think it's because they felt like they were so valued why they just ran off into war. I don't think that was a thing.
And that's why I say I would disagree. I'm gonna tell you why, because technology has exposed so many falsehoods and so much debauchery that men have dealt with, to where you look at paternity fraud. Now you got the technology to find out if this kid mine or not.
Okay, so start right there. Let's go down. I'm gonna let you run it down.
Okay.
So my pushback on paternity fraud is not a thing if it ain't a thing. So back in the day, I can't really say that my baby, because I ain't got no way to figure it out if it's my baby. So I just go with it, and that's out of sight. That's why
that's why I say technology has exposed the falsehoods, because
right,
it could have been happening, but I just didn't confirm it. So I deal with the delusion, because I can't confirm it one way or the other. But now I got the means, and you also have the admission. You look at all these campaigns against toxic masculinity, the commercial, the NFL is gay now. Masculine sports, men drinking beer.
I think they go bit when I say redefine masculinity, that part.
But that's where under being undervalued and underappreciated, where you think you can you can redefine my experience as a man and dumb it down to just being a tool, or dumb it down to just being a wallet. A lot of you hear women talk, if you ain't paying, and women damn near saying you can't even ask me how I look without sending me some fucking money. You gotta think how the man on the receiving end hearing that.
Yeah,
I gotta pay to talk to you. I gotta pay to anything involving interacting with you. Is gotta be some expense.
Money, yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So you breaking me down to just being a wallet.
Right.
You coming to me with 2-3 kids, I gotta pay for everything. I ain't going 50-50. Even if you were, how would we know?
Right.
Yeah. So we know that mindset come with a bunch of other intricate details. So you look at the male not being in the workforce. It's very difficult to get in the lane that we're in from the entrepreneur, because you look at my back, it's a bunch of wounds, bunch of marks. You see what I'm saying? That come with this standing and really believing in, you sacrifice friendships, you sacrifice relationships, you sacrifice a lot of stuff to achieve your goals. A lot of people can't fathom not working for a white man. A lot of people can't fathom not going to work and having a check. It get funky until they hit you with that pink slip with your blind loyalty, thinking they're going to give you the same loyalty. So these men are saying, well, I ain't finna go work when I'm looking at AI automation coming in, and I'm going to come in and work my ass off 3-4 years. And then you're going to be like, hey, we got the machine coming in. They don't take bait. You see what I'm saying?
But is that logical? Because you still have to bring in some type of income or do something, right? So even if I see it coming down the pipeline, why wouldn't I stack my bread and just figure out a way that I can maneuver around?
But you got
AI and stuff like that.
But think about it. If we're talking about the men of old, they only had that drive because they were really family driven. I need income to support my family. These people now, you got the reports for the relationship. They say they don't even want to engage in relationships. So there's no incentive for me to earn income because I don't have nobody to support.
Well, I guess that is partially true too. Because like I said, I know a lot of men do better financially in marriages. Because like I said the other day about responsibility.
Yeah.
That's part of being a man, is how you handle responsibility and take on certain responsibilities. So if you just foregoing relationships, it really ain't. If I ain't got to have a relationship and I can go still stay in my mama's basement, really ain't no.
Or I could just travel the world as I please. You got because they got this male loneliness epidemic, right?
Oh, it is.
I mean, you see,
I feel like men have always been like a.
Men ain't always been lonely. Cause pre-civil rights. The civil rights movement. Before the civil rights, the black community had an 86% marriage rate. The Asians still have an 86% marriage rate.
When you say men are lonely, do you think because they not in a relationship they lonely? Because you You think if you don't have nobody, you're gonna be lonely?
No, not me. Personally, no.
That's what I'm saying. You think so? But do you think a lot of men?
A lot of
that
men
way?
are not socially inept. If you look at the black male experience coming up, we got a lot of culture. That's why a lot of women gravitate to us globally. We got a lot of swag, a lot of culture. That swag and sauce come from our social development. It comes from the gifts, the rhythms that we, frequency we put out. These, let's say other men, let's say the black men that don't have that social development like myself, how I had it in the 90s, going to the skate. I started interacting with people early. I had gained confidence from interacting with people very early.
Yeah.
I'm in the skate rink at 10, 11 years old. There's hundreds of other kids I'm interacting with. I'm at the arcade. I'm playing sports. I'm at the house parties. I'm at house parties at 12 years old. Talking to girls 12, 13 years old. So you got these men who may not have the aesthetic, because I always had the aesthetic to draw people to me. I was funny, had the new shoes, that type of stuff. But you talking like, let's say you're everyday or you're token black male and white male who don't have the swag, don't have the conversation. They're just invisible to society to a degree. At one point, you still had to like a person by interacting with them. Now, if I was to look square and get in a chick DM, she'll look at my page. You don't even look like somebody I talk to. I'm automatically disregarded.
Right.
Versus if we in an outing or whatever, and she hear how I'm talking, oh, he seemed cool. He seemed this. He seemed this. You see what I'm saying? So,
just like I got to rethink mine, because I just don't think. I think the redefining of masculinity is playing a part, and I do think the relationship aspect is playing a part, because I do think men are getting a chance to see, far when you say technology, what the crazy shit that women do say about relationships. Then now you got the stats that we see that women push for relationships or marriage, and then they leave 70% plus of the time. So we do have a lot of stuff that makes men feel, I guess, undervalued. But I kind of feel like men always, like Charleston White said this, use me, but don't misuse.
Don't misuse me.
And I think that's where it is. Like, men have always wanted to be used, but I guess it's getting to the point where they feel like they're being misused and taken to the ringer and put on child support. Like you said, paternity, divorce courts, taking half of your money, paying spousal support, not being the judge's ruling in the favor of the mother. You can't see your children like you want to. So it is a lot of stuff that goes against men, but at the same time, just like we watch those riots, the men ain't gonna come together, riot, protest about changing a lot of these laws and how the system is working, it ain't gonna get no better.
I just say, like I said, I followed some of that content. Like I think his name's Steven, I forgot his name, but you got a lot of people with a let it burn mentality. Let that shit burn down. Don't fight for it. Don't stop it. Don't protest it. Let that shit fall. And the survivors will survive.
That's how I feel.
I feel that same way. Like, because only the strong gonna survive anyway.
Right.
But like I said, men now are looking at these podcasts and movies and listening to the music. Well, damn, I'm just reduced down to, can I pay a bill? I'm just reduced down to, am I gonna take her to a 5-star restaurant? I'm a restaurant experience. I'm a foodie experience for you now.
So let me ask you this. Just like we talked about how black women internalize Tyler Perry movies, right? And a lot of them probably ain't even went through a lot of the drama or stuff that they see in these movies. Do you think a lot of men could be internalizing other people's dating experience as well, though?
Yeah.
So I'm just going to avoid it, because this person, hey, this girl asked me for a date. I spent $300. Then when we got done, she said thank you and ran out. No kiss, no hug. I ain't get a grab on that ass, no touching, nothing. So I just got used for a date. So now he hears this and say, you know what? I want to avoid that. I'm not going to do it. Because typically a lot of people, even when I hear about marriage, a lot of men don't even want to do marriage because of the horror stories they heard about marriage.
And this is why you had the likes of Tom Likas. If you're not familiar, look up Tom Likas. He's one of the first, if not the first. He's a white man. Kevin Samuels formatted his talking points and stuff after Tom Likas. You had Tom Likas. You had your Howard Stern. You had your Patrice O'Neill's. These are late 80s, early 90s talking about this type of stuff.
Yeah.
Who gave men a platform and say, hey man, what you been dealing with? Because people think because it ain't on the internet, it ain't happening. in real life. So these are phone calls because you ain't had internet then. So if I'm a man and I'm listening and I hear 10 to 30 men call in, and I'm like, damn, I'm dealing with that shit too.
Right.
You know, my wife did something similar that I need to look into it. So now you transition and you evolve later that you got red pill content. You got MGTOW. You got incel. You got all these sectors of basically male rebellion against the traditional norms of relationships. Think about it. We got red pill, black pill, they got purple pill, MGTOW, SYSBM. That's 5. And a few others that fall up under those same ideologies.
Yeah.
And it's all in regards to how the system views you and use you and the women. Well, men don't. I'm gonna work for myself. You ain't gonna fire me. I'm gonna just build my own business, or I ain't gonna participate in your traditional dating schemes. We gonna go for coffees. You see that the coffee date. But meet me at Starbucks. Women like, hell no. What's it? Where does coffee date shit come from?
Yeah.
Well, you done already showed your hand saying you want to go to this restaurant, you want to go here, you want me to spend hundreds of dollars, and I ain't guaranteed shit to come after that.
Yeah, so you gotta get a preview.
So yeah.
Like I said, I just think it's just a reinventing of masculinity and what men is. And you're right. When you turn TV on and all these movements, what's the movement with the Me Too movements, believe all women, the toxic masculinity. Like, man, we wouldn't even think of making a movement like that.
And to add to that, you had men and you had offices talking about their production, saying how it went down because after the Me Too shit came, they said the men didn't even want to be in the same room with a woman, didn't want to work on no projects with women because of the Me Too.
Right.
Think about this, man. You didn't have this in the early 2000s,
right?
Even the late 2000s, 2011. You didn't have these people saying men don't even want to be in the same room alone or work on any projects with the females.
That's scary too.
You know how crazy that is?
What if she make a pass at you and you did not her pass? Now she can go out there and say you did something wrong, and they gonna believe it.
When I was working, I ain't gonna say the name. I'd said it before, but I ain't gonna say it. I ain't giving them no pub. I was working at a company, and it was a manager, black guy, lost his job, high up, dealing with a lower level chick because he too fucking horny to control himself, and she played his ass. And that's why I say you always you got to know who like you and who really rock with you.
Right.
Everybody don't rock with you, dog. Let's just ask P. Diddy.
Prime. Right.
Everybody at the freak offs. Everybody, ooh, brother love pictures everywhere. We can look at 1 million pictures on Google's. All these, where they at now?
Right.
What they saying now? No Diddy. But I'm getting mentor. I'm getting information from you on how to take my business. But now is no Diddy. Everybody with you till they ain't. They hate you. They love you. They love you. They hate you. They love you again. But that's just the nature of people, especially people in America. We are very fickle. You don't do something. You do one thing on like fuck the 99 things I did that you benefited and you like. This one thing that you did I don't like or that you said I ain't fucking with them no more.
I agree.
That's how it is, man.
This dude said Mexicans and Negroes are always used as a mule or scapegoat to these types of riots, and when these people get something out of it, it's always goes to everyone else other than them. DEI is a prime example. Is an example.
I can agree with that. Yeah, facts. We're pawns, and we don't understand we don't understand it. What that was say?
My response to feminism is to level the playing field. Red pill.
Again, some red pill stuff I'm pro. Some of it is a little extreme because I kind of went through that red pill rage a little bit, but my experience didn't really involve a lot of the stuff that I see when it came to dealing with women. I didn't have no bad experience with women. So, but some of it I can kind of see it's a overcorrection. It's kind of like driving and you about to veer out the road, you pull it to, you're gonna spin out.
Yeah.
You gotta ease back on the road, get off the gas. But like I said, some men can't take, they don't know, they only know one speed. You see what I'm saying? They know extreme. But
do you ever think we'll see a day where men and women just vibing back to each other.
Oh yeah,
Think it's coming soon.
it's coming soon. I said this in a conversation. I said order is always restored. Chaos can only ensue for so long.
Mm-hmm.
Order always come back. So the women that's in that masculine frame, breadwinner, when you see these DIs and all these firings, and order always is restored.
Yeah.
Chaos can only ensue for so long. And when order is restored, because that's what harmony is.
Mm-hmm.
When you out of place, if you see what I'm saying, because it's a hierarchy to things and it's a balance. That's why they work. The engine is in the part of the car where it makes the most sense. It ain't in your motherfucking back seat.
Right.
It's in your seats are in there where it makes the most sense.
Mm-hmm.
So if you ain't in place, you ain't got no harmony.
I agree. If y'all watching, y'all make sure y'all like the video. Make sure y'all share the video. Subscribe to the New Normal Podcast on all social media platforms. And like I said, if you're watching, y'all make sure y'all share the video too. Get the word out about the New Normal Podcast. Help us grow this channel. Help us grow this channel. Help us grow this channel. And if y'all want to call in, the number is at the bottom of the screen. Call in. The numbers at the bottom of the screen. We talked about the LA riots. We talked about shrinkflation, and we talk about men just giving up on life and how do they feel about them being used, mistreated, and being a tool for society. Y'all call in right now. The numbers at the bottom of the screen. If we don't have any call-ins, we're gonna call it a day. I want to tell everybody thank y'all for tuning in, though.
What y'all think about the podcast? Put some topics in the comments y'all want us to discuss. Like I said, Wednesday, we got a good panel. We actually may have some guests Wednesday too to go through this Tyler Perry epidemic. I ain't say epidemic, but his campaign.
Tyler Perry smart. So
Very smart.
I'm gonna give him that.
I'm gonna give him that. Facts.
He's smart. He got his niche. He got his following. He's made his money, and he ain't gonna change it up.
It's a working formula. Right.
Like I said, we don't ask anybody else. Drake is same formula. Boost is same formula. Like these people, they get their formula. They got their fan base, their niche, and they just continue to do what they're doing. But like I said, for Tyler Perry to have a run this long, and then I don't want to say too much before we get to it, but Tyler Perry can have a run this long because we don't really have a lot of black just film producers like that.
Oh, they write and stuff like that.
Yeah, right.
I think we do. They haven't been given opportunities, or their films may have been turned down. Yes, that's a lot of gatekeeping.
So we got we just seen Ryan Coogler.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you got Tyler Perry,
John Singleton. I think he passed.
Singleton. You had
Antoine Fuqua.
New York.
Good. Who?
New York nigga. Spike Lee.
Yeah.
You said Antoine. I don't know who that
Antoine
is.
Fuqua. Yeah. He did. I'm gonna let me pull up his stuff, but he's good. He got let me see. I'm about to tell you right now. Hold on.
And like I said, y'all make sure y'all come back Wednesday. We got a good one for y'all. Y'all call in Wednesday. Make sure y'all subscribe, like the channel, follow the page.
I think he did training day, Equalizer. He did all the equalizers.
Okay.
The Magnificent Seven Tears of the Sun, Olympus Is Falling, Southpaw.
Oh, that's good.
Emancipation with Will Smith. Brooklyn's Finest, Hannibal. That's the one.
He real diverse then.
Yeah, he got a nice resume.
Okay.
Yeah, I know he did the training days and Equalizer.
I guess like your Jordan Peels, you called and counting in.
Yeah, Jordan Peele's. Yeah, he good. He talented. He different, but because it's something for everybody. Yeah. But I think it is a lot of gatekeeping. Some because I think they've been talking about this Mansa Musa film been in production for the last 8 years. They don't want to put that out.
Who's supposed to be putting it out?
I think Michael. I want to say Ryan Coogler.
Mm.
If I ain't mistaken, I think
I've seen a lot of people say they was mad about Black Panther because they gave too much pride.
Yeah,
or something like that.
You had people going to dressed up in African garb going to see Black Panther.
Yeah,
they don't want that type of stuff out there because it's once you get pride in the sense of identity, you're gonna shed the identity of your oppressors.
Right.
So,
well, since we have no call-ins today, y'all gotta start calling in.
Yeah, man, we ain't gonna bite. We just like I said, we just want to hear your perspective. We can keep you anonymous. We ain't gonna give you identity. If y'all want to be anonymous, you can just call in under Jane or John Doe.
Yeah, I gotta start calling in. But like I said, Wednesday we're gonna be talking about Tyler Perry straw, and I think what you're gonna talk about the being Trump. We're just gonna talk about trauma.
Black trauma is
internalizing trauma. Yeah,
because I seen people talking about, not to cut you off. I'm only 20 minutes in. It's already got me teared eyed. I'm this in. It already got me feeling away. And I see that, and I say, this is it's supposed to invoke emotions.
Yeah,
but
it does.
You know, after at some point, you be like, hey, all right, we seen enough.
When I seen that movie, and I seen what she was going through, I ain't gonna ruin it.
Yeah, we'll get into it Wednesday.
We're gonna talk about it Wednesday.
Yeah.
But if, like I said, if y'all are watching, y'all make sure y'all like the video, share the video, subscribe to the New Normal Podcast on all social media platforms, and we're gone. Peace.